Yes, hi, I'm Josh, founder of Pushkart.ph. We do online grocery. So basically, we partner with stores like supermarkets, Pure Gold, Fisher Supermarket, Robinsons and SNR, and we deliver groceries right at your doorstep. So what's my Alibaba journey and how did it um, become? So basically, when I applied through Alibaba, there was a link in the startup group. I applied through there and I got an invitation for an interview. So this was a 1 hour interview with one of the Alibaba moderators. Told us basically the questions were what motivated you to join, how else that Alibaba can contribute to your success of your startup, and other sorts of mostly how you grew your organizations, what culture do you have inside your organizations, as well as how how I would say how inspired or motivated are you to even scale further when Alibaba comes in and help you. So these are some of the questions we did, and one of it struck me is when they asked us what our mission and vision is. So in Alibaba, it's how to make business easy anywhere. So when you go around in the campus and ask an employee or someone in Alibaba what their mission is, they will definitely answer their mission. So it's immediate. They don't have to recall. It's just a reflex for them just to say to make business easy. So in every organization, you need to know your mission. So if you ask your employee what your mission is, they need to answer it immediately. If they weren't able to answer it immediately, then what's their purpose? So they actually don't know what you guys are doing. When I arrived in Alibaba, it was a surprising journey because I took the red eye flight, got there at around 4 a.m. in the morning, at 3 a.m. in the morning, got to the station at around 4 or 5. And when I arrived to the station, there were people only uses QR to pay for their goods, to pay for their trains and everything, lining up just all QR. So I actually had a hard time going and using cash to pay. When I go to the vending machine, there's no way to put your money or your coins in, so I had to go around and ask for the tourist information. Even when you're riding the bus, riding the bicycle, or even getting food. So one of the key major learnings that I was very interested in is into new retail. So what is new retail? New retail is about bridging the gap between offline and online retail, and using those user data of both offline and online to create an omni-channel that would meet the customer's expectations. So what does it mean? It basically lets the business understand what the customer behavior is, their buying pattern, their customer portraits, and making sure that when you arrive to that store, they already know what you're gonna buy. So these are some of the major factors for new retail. Consumer-wise, it's learning where the consumer lives, what they are doing, what they are watching. Basically, it's like the big brain of the Alibaba. Environment is tracking the weather patterns because when it rains, the retail landscape changes. There will be less people going out. There will be less sales going through. And that's why they usually track it. And of course, for logistics, it's hard for you to deliver when there is heavy rain. Business-wise, in business always keeps on changing. That's why you always have to adapt the patterns. Like for now, it's in the US or in China, retail shops are closing. And that's because the businesses weren't able to translate what the people really want. Now they are all going online and having it shipped to their house. That's why the retails are closing. But because if you would be able to adapt and make it as a offline online retail, then people would actually go back to the malls and buy what they need. I'll show you the slide later of what they did. For technology-wise, it's basically being part of a marketplace, or what Steve actually mentioned. The being a platform and also being part of the network effect. So the externality effect and the network effect. So basically, technology always changes. You always have to adapt. Make sure that you get the right people to help you. So creating a chatbot, joining in marketplaces like Lazada, Shopee to increase your sales, and also creating your own. So these are some of the models of how they did new retail. So first is into B2C, which is creating Tmall. So Tmall, you could go to the site, buy whatever items which you could see in the mall. Basically, they aggregate all the items. And you could also go to the mall and basically there's a vendor machine. You click on it, and you could pay using your QR, and the items will just either drop or will have it delivered to your house immediately. And all they use is just QR codes to pay. They don't have cash. They limit it as well. Also, they do Helma. Helma is what's most interesting for me because I'm into the supermarket business. It's creating. So in Helma, they created a 30-minute delivery. So you could get your groceries in 30 minutes within 3-kilometer radius. And that's how fast that they could do. They also provide you not just the supermarket, but within the supermarket, there's 3 pillars. So 3 pillars means one supermarket, one restaurants, and one fulfillment center. So that's actually how they made it really fast to deliver. Restaurants means that there's like bubble tea or other food. Yeah, Starbucks. They could have it delivered within 30 minutes. Also, we have the Elma. Elma is actually one of the key things that they did. So when Alibaba started with Lazada, there was the 1111. They started with e-commerce. So when 1111 happened, first year, it crashed. So the site crashed. They had to revise it again, make sure that in the second year it won't crash. So they were able to successfully gather 1 billion orders on the second year. But what happened was, in second year, the logistics weren't able to manage the capacity. So they weren't able to deliver it. And all the items were delivered like after 6 months. So a lot of people were very angry. On the third year, they made sure that the logistics is properly managed. So third year, they were able to deliver, but because of the vast amount of orders, their payment gateway kept on shutting down. So on the third year, they made sure that they created the Alipay. So when they created Alipay, it created the iron triangle, which is e-commerce, payments, and logistics. That's why they were able to manage 1 billion of orders in one day and to deliver. So imagine, 1 billion of orders delivered in a day. That's how they were able to create this massive structure. And in that iron triangle, the middle is the data, which now they are always using and making sure that people buys what they want or gets what they want. So this is Tmall. This is Taobao, Taobao convenience store. So if we're going to look at, for example, I would say rebranding the convenience stores in the mom and pop shop. Sari-sari stores, yes. So basically, it's a sari-sari store. They rebranded it into Tmall, and all those high-selling products or top-selling products are in that convenience store. So people just go there, and they will have a 90% buy chance rate for the items. This is the customer journey. So putting in online, offline, offline, online, and creating that business. So this is how they actually do it, one step to another, creating awareness through visual search, So they have the Alimama, which is the channel for digital growth, or their social channel. That it's like a Google Ads, Google AdWords. Yeah. So research is basically Magic Mirror. They have all of these, I will say, visual catalog in front of you. You could just basically swipe left and right of what you want. Consideration is basically they have the facial structure. So basically they read what, if you're frowning, if you're smiling, they know what you want, and they could also you could also use your face to pay for that item. They have the machine. They have the CCTV as well, online marketplace, smart logistics, where they actually connect to different logistics. So in smart logistics, there is clustered of areas. So let's say Manila. You have QC, you have Taguig, you have Makati, and all those have is integrated into one system, which is Cainiao. So Cainiao is a logistics network that tracks all the deliveries, and they make sure that all deliveries are properly placed. And at the end of the year, they will show the ranking of each logistics provider. You will see it's rank 1 up to rank 10. So you will see who's the logistics provider that's slacking off. And they will actually try to help them grow. And people have egos. So business owners have egos. They will say, why am I rank 10? So they will try to work better and better every year to make sure that all deliveries are properly managed. So that's how the Cainiao network works. And we have the chatbot and the reviews. So these are some of the new retails that happen inside the Ali Mall. So basically they have, Alibaba has their own mall as well. They have cinemas, complete utilities. You will see this you would actually see this inside the mall, where you will know the heat map of the persons, where everyone is gathering, what they are actually doing. And actually the whole journey always starts with the whole group together. These are the Filipino groups. So my dean hasn't arrived yet. She is with Kaynamics. My lead, Camille, is from Pet Warehouse. So JC, Steve, and me as well. So we were actually inside the Alibaba Museum. So they showcase how Alibaba works, the history, and there's this one guide, or our moderator. He always tells us that he meets Jack Ma every time he goes to the CR in the Alibaba Museum. So I hope that we'll be able to change the world as Filipinos, because as Steve mentioned, there's no platform yet. There's a lot of room to grow, and we hope that every startup has this mindset that we will be able to make it further. Perfect. When we were in the cafeteria, this is very interesting. People are lining up. You have thousands of people basically lining up for food, and we only have 30 minutes. So actually, our day starts at 9. We start the session at 9. We end. It's supposed to end at 9 p.m. or 6 p.m., but people stay in Alibaba campus until 9 or even midnight. So that's how we actually learn and grow, and it really fascinates me because we're all founders, and founders has this mentality that they are very aggressive and they want to learn. They are always hungry for growth. So that's why people doesn't want even to go back to the hotel. So here in the campus, there's this cafeteria, and people lines up, and basically we don't hand over cash. We go in, we get our food, and we go straight to this machine. It actually it's called facial recognition, that knows what food you took, and it tells you how much you're gonna pay. And you can actually pay via facial recognition or just QR. So when you put the food, you just actually look at the machine, takes your photo, and you just leave. So that's how efficient they are. This is the classroom that we did. So we are 48 in the class. We have Indonesia. Indonesia is one of the largest. They have 16. Malaysia is around 8 to 10, and other Southeast Asian countries. After our session, the South Africans actually was next to our batch. So this is one of our photos as well. So there's a night that we pitched to VCs of Alibaba, and basically they help us through with how we could scale up, what's the funding that we need or we require, and basically how they could help us in the future. So yes, thank you very much for sharing.